if you would, Jonathan and Elaine Huguenin. You have an incredible story, and we're going to bring in a moment, Jordan Lawrence. Are you there, Jordan?
I am here.
Oh, well, let's go back over. Are we going to have you? Maybe we'll have you by Skype. We'll see, or maybe just a landline. This young couple, they're professionals. He was in the military. 8 weeks ago, they gave birth to their firstborn. He came out of the military at that time. But also, in the midst of all this, over these last couple years, you as a professional photographer received an email one day that has changed your lives. What happened?
We started our business a few years ago, and around that time we got an email from a lady who had asked us to shoot her same-sex ceremony and celebrate with her. And so we declined, and then got a phone call from the New Mexico Department of Human Rights Division saying that there had been a complaint filed against us, and we either needed to find an attorney or do mediation.
So what mediation mean?
Well, we had the option of going to litigation and talking things out, which was essentially us saying that we're sorry and apologizing for declining to shoot that, and then paying a fee with our apology. So we decided to locate an attorney, and it was a little scary for us because we're not a big photography corporation, it's us. And we contacted the Alliance Defense Fund, and Jordan Lawrence, who you see on the screen there, is our attorney, and they've been representing us so far.
And what's the status of it now? Update it for us.
They ruled against us, and so we are...
At the first level?
Yeah, at the hearing that we had in January, and so we're appealing and just kind of waiting for the next...
What was the consequences? Did they fine you? Did they threaten jail? Or
$6,700 in attorney's fees. So.
$6,700 and attorney's fees?
In attorney's fees.
In attorney's fees. You're going to pay the other side's attorney's fees, is that it?
Right.
So right now you have an almost $7,000 fine against you at this point. Jordan, can you hear me right now?
I can.
What would you pick up and add to this amazing case?
Well, I just want to say, and especially for people from the other side that might be listening, we do not make these cases up. That these are the implications of what happens when these laws go into effect. These are real people that are before you. We had to defend them in a real live trial before the New Mexico Human Rights Commission. And all they thought they were doing is saying, hey, I'm going to live and let live. You can go have your ceremony up in Taos, New Mexico, but leave us alone. And instead what happened, they had the full force of the state of New Mexico come down upon them. And we at the Alliance Defense Fund have probably about a half dozen cases that are similar to this going on around the country. I just point out, New Mexico does not have legalized same-sex marriage. So I would say how much more it will be if it is legalized. That people, photographers, any regular business owner that just simply doesn't want to have anything to do with this, a church that rents out its facilities but doesn't want to do anything about this, they're all going to get sued for discrimination because it's viewed as an affront to say regular marriage is different than same-sex marriage.
Does New Mexico have civil unions or domestic partnerships?
No, they don't have any of that. But they do have a law that says that companies cannot discriminate when doing business with customers on the basis of sexual orientation. And there's a whole spectrum of these kind of laws, and California has the complete spectrum, like when you were hearing from Chuck and the other attorney earlier, that they were basically showing that these types of laws can pop up in situations that you never expected. You just think you're living your own life, like Elaine and John did here, and the next thing you know, the full force of the state has come down upon you, and you're viewed as some bigot that needs to be punished and to be made an example of.